Welcome back to Beautiful Mind today. Thank you to all my viewers and subscribers and everyone reaching out to me. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. You have some amazing comments, and I'm just really grateful to all of it. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about our weekly chart and squaring out some tops and bottoms, and we're going to be also looking at our indicators. And let's just I know this says daily, but it's not really on the daily chart right now. So here we are. Let's go over here and bingo. If you're new here, I'm Roland Attenborough. I'm the leading GAN scientific and analytical researcher, and we are now delving into what looks like maybe a retest of our top. And as you can see, we have these long channels here, and we're doing very much the same. And what happened during that channel? Well, let's just make this a little smaller and find out. We have a continuous melt up and then a reset. And it looks like we're going to retest this right here, and possibly, we could certainly gain some extra strength here and move up. There's if the energy gets above this and we sit on this top, then definitely 55 and 57 is in our sequence right now. And just looking at our chart here, we're talking about our 53 top here, and our next sequence is 55 and 57. And then if it was extremely strong, which it's getting stronger, but I think we need a good correction right now. There's a lot of over exuberance in the market, I guess. And most of this money went into Bitcoin ETFs, not the actual custody of Bitcoin and the network. Okay, so we've just sort of looked at this from a daily perspective, and my forecast is calling for around 30,000, mid 30,000 Bitcoin, and it was going to be within this whole area here, right up to around here. And, it's possible and likely that could still happen. We've had this major dead cat bounce here, which has turned into a sucker rally, it looks like. It honestly looks like a sucker rally here, where everyone's getting sucked in. So I think we need to have, in my opinion, we need to have the resumption of 62 days to settle down, reset, and then we start to move to make brand new highs in the new year. Let's go take a look at our RSI. RSI has been moving up rather aggressively since asserting our last local bottom here on the 23rd of January. And we've bounced off of this now, right in here. And we came back and we've contacted this. However, we're still sitting. So breaking this right now, in my opinion, would be breaking it and moving down. Right now, we're in this sucker phase. It's not sure what it's going to do right now. If it's going to continue to move up or move down. And looking down at this, we've had our death cross here, and we've suffered a couple of them right here. However, the sellers have looked like looks like the peak selling has moved away temporarily, and the buyers are attempting to step back in here and maybe push it up to this top area here. And it's possible we get a rejection here. There's a lot of resistance here, and looking at the square, we can see why there's so much resistance, because our old top is 69, we bounced off our 40 and we've now rocketed all the way up and we're at 53 and we're bouncing off of this, right? Coming back and bouncing back up. So this is an important level. We have to sit on this level before we can move up to 57. So is that going to happen? Well, it's possible. You know, guys, anything is possible here. This is a really volatile asset. I mean, it's the most successful asset going. Come on, right? What do you guys know that has gone up from 0 to 50,000 or 70,000, right? Nothing else, right? Nothing's grown as fast and been so successful. That's why they don't want you to own it. They want you to own their EC20, Ethereum tokenization, right? Doesn't have a proof of work system like the SHA system of Bitcoin. Okay, so looking at what we're saying for these tops here, it's a possible a retest does come in here. And from my past tutorials, we've been talking about this September area and this August area, right? I have to show you this because it's likely we could, in fact, visit this area. We've been in this very, very strong uptrending channel, and we have not broken this, not once yet. We've come close to testing it. Right? We almost were testing it right here. Everyone really crapped their pants. Same with when we came back and I told you to watch out and sit on this and buy it around these areas when it comes back to this, and especially buy it when it breaks above this. And of course, if you guys took my advice here, you're probably sitting in a really good spot, And this is financial advice, by the way. I've never signed a non-disclosure for any stock trading house. I don't work for anybody. I refuse to sign a non-disclosure agreement selling stocks. So this is truthful and full disclosure. Moving forward here, we can see that this channel has not been broken yet. Are we about to do something like that? Well, it could happen. I've put an extension line on our last channel top here, right at the breakaway, right? And another one, this is our main breakaway. This is what we're vibrating off of right now. These two right here. And for most of the year, we've been really testing this area. And sitting on this area is indicative of strong growth up. And you can see I've put a secondary channel in here, right? And staying above this area indicates extreme strength. Breaking this area here does not mean we're in a complete bear market. Not at all. We would have to break this to signify that we are, in fact, in a major correction, and sit back on this kind of area and revisit this and then down to here, before maybe sitting on this area. But I don't really think that's in the cards right now. We've been in this for a long time. However, March, guys, looking back on March, this is our March last year. When we have a lot of people message me saying that they think that the next top is coming in around this, and it's possible. From September, they're calling from this September that they're calling for March top, and you know what? That's certainly in line with a trend line here. And if we were to lose that, and make it back to this area here, that would put us in a significant position to see the outcome of another 155-day sequence. up into this time cycle area. At least that's my opinion, and you'd have to buy my forecast to see the exact dates I have populated for that. So from here, we're going to go look at some things that Mr. Gann was doing, like his weekly counts and his monthly counts. And we're going to use 69,000, and we're also going to use 15,000. And we're going to go take a look at some points in time where maybe some things could happen and we need to be aware of them. All right. Get comfortable, guys, because we're going to dive right into the weekly chart. I'm going to try and make it look as nice as possible so we can work through this and see it in a fairly good context. We're just going to make Mr. Gann a little smaller. Keep an eye on us. Okay, guys, this is the top here. We're talking about 69,000. This is our all-time high. Let's just go ahead and let's go take a look at how many weeks 69 would be, and if we can see anything happening around there. All right? 69 weeks called our reset to our bottom. All right? So I think that's really interesting, you guys. Just before the end of the square, we had a massive top off our bottom here, and then we reset and realigned. Okay, let's not lose our mind just yet. Let's go back here and let's go 69 weeks. All right, I wonder what we'll see there. Oh, yikes. So the last time we were seeing tops in the late 60s, and then at 69 we saw a reset, right? Tops call bottoms, bottoms call tops. Mr. Gann states that over and over in many of his books and courses. I, of course, own every one of them pretty much. Okay, so what were we saying here? Well, at 69, we could expect a possible move back. It doesn't mean we have to come back to here. In no means does it mean we have to. Just because we have these trend lines and these points here doesn't necessarily mean it will come back to this area. However, the likelihood of it recreating things like this, maybe staying in the middle or going from the 3/4 or 100% point and then back to our square one. So we could certainly bounce down and just stay right in here, right here. That would satisfy me. And that would mean a very strong Bitcoin cycle is unfolding to our next 155 days. Okay, so let's just go over now, and we're going to go take a look at the monthly chart because, there's obviously things there that we could use to square out and find possible points in time where we could expect something significant to occur. All right, so let's do it. This is our current all-time low right now. This is our registered low. So it's 15,000, as you guys know. Let's go out 15 months. We did 155 days, and we found our tops, right? What's 15 months? Well, this is our next sequence right here, right? There's 15 months, right? 69 weeks. We're squaring out tops and bottoms right now, guys. You're getting sucked into what I think is a sucker rally. Let's go take a look at the indicators, all right, on the monthly chart. We didn't really look at it much on that weekly chart, but right now we're coming up to an area right here, guys, that, this area right here represents, rollovers. So, and note, okay, peak top here, we had a big RSI reading. Our second top that came up lower. But we had a reverse correlation on this top. We had a higher RSI reading and our lower top, it's just a little lower. And then our all-time high, 69, right? We had a retest, but it was lower. So indicating great weakness. Like, I mean, look at the weakness that we experienced here, and it didn't stop. So we are gaining strength right now, but we're coming back to these areas right here where I expect we're going to retest some overhead support, and we're going to have to make a little move back before we can start to push up, in my opinion, of this market structure. We need one more really good shakeout. I mean, we'll probably have a few more as we continue to go up. We always have these shakeouts, but in my opinion, right now we're very overheated. Even though the buyers are stepping back in, right? We have a really good move up here in volume of buyers, right? The buyers stepped right in right after our 62-day cycle, up for 155 days. We're just over 155 days, and we're retesting this time period. So this is really important. So down here, we had a nice little, right? We had our golden cross here, indicating that strength had returned. And sure enough, we're peaking out now. Now, this one peaks out as well, but usually it's at a higher standpoint before we get rejections. For instance, our rejections came at the end of these tail ends. Again, we came up, our rejection came at the tail end here. So are we saying that by September we could be up to these areas here with this trend line and be looking for a pretty good correction? Right, get a big top right here, really big top, correction, move back up, a secondary reaction, and we move down. Just my opinion. Let's go have a look at 69 months while we're here, right? Just tear this apart. Here's our all-time high, 69. Let's go have a look out 69 months, probably call a bottom. That's what Gann usually says. So, or that's what he does say. So August 27, it's possible and likely we have a snapback. And right now, guys, we're starting to run out the 100-year cycle. I study stocks going back hundreds of years. And if you recall, in 1929, when we had the big panic in stocks, and William stated in September of 1928 that the top was in and a big panic was going to come. And I agree tremendously with all his work and his outcomes and the things that he was achieving. So we're just going to pay attention to that. So I've kind of given you a little bit of an outlook as to what to expect. Come this year, we get above 69 and sit on that. It's possible and likely we make our moves up into next year, and well, I don't know, maybe it's February, March, and April next year we touch upon 140,000 or higher. I mean, it's possible we have a major blow off. Doesn't mean it has to happen. We don't have to stay inside these models, you know. These are just a guideline, and when they do break them or make a reverse, we need to pay attention to the model and adjust. And then go look at all our accounts, our previous campaigns. So I've also cataloged all the times that it has reactions and the 62-day reactions here. And of course, we've seen that quite a few times. You know, we've seen a 62-day cycle from here, move to here, and then another one from here down to here, another one from here to here. So it's possible and likely we experience another 62-day cycle before resetting and having a retest. And I believe that by August, September, we will be 69,000. And we could break above this, like I said. And it wouldn't surprise me in the least bit. So these are my thoughts and feelings, and that's my work. Okay, I hope you guys really enjoyed that. I've been really busy lately, you guys. I'm sorry. I've been working on coding my own cryptocurrency with a SHA-256 hash. I'm going to leave that in a follow up so you guys can look at that tutorial. It's not quite done yet. I'm still writing all the code for that. I'm also working on another project as well, coding project. However, I'm not really disclosing that one right now, but and I am working on as well the requests that you have for me for stocks and getting a free market synopsis from me. And I'm getting overwhelmed with requests, and I've itemized all the requests in the highest order and the asset that it is. And I will be doing that. I need to take a break from coding, and I'm back to doing some tutorials here. My brain is like mush right now. Okay, you guys, peace and love. Watch this, guys. Like, we're up against this top area, and we're in some dangerous area. If we don't gain some big time legs and get above this and sit on this and stand on top of this, then we're not moving up to these points, and we would be making a rapid move down and testing this area next. That's our next area. I mean, just consulting the square here, you know, right? There's 47 right in here. And underneath this is 45. So, if we start getting down to these levels, it's not that great. It's indicating that if we don't bounce off of this stuff here, yeah, it's 100% down, and we'll be moving to these areas, and it may be a painful, slow grinding. May not be fast and savage. Might just be a slow grind, and we just retest this and then move down. So it's possible and likely, guys. We come back to this area in the square here. So pay attention to this. Make sure your stops are well placed. And if you get knocked out, don't get all upset, because there'll be plenty of time to re-enter. So let's get all this exuberance out of the way from all this ETF stuff, right? Okay, guys. Peace and love. Thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate everybody. Hit me up in the comments, and we'll see you again.